All right. Well, here we go. I got the intro for you. Wait, how much do you weigh?
Oh, about 225.
Nice. How tall are you? I don't know why I said nice. Nice.
About
A good
6 foot tall.
6 foot?
Like right at it.
With the bouffant?
Yeah, that's right.
Me too.
You gotta measure the hair.
Yeah,
know?
dude. My hair gives me a good 6 foot. I'm like 5'11", really. But
Right on the dot, 5'11". But everything I've ever put down on paper says 6 foot.
it just feels better.
It does.
If I had to, I don't know. So 225, 6 foot ish.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. You ready?
I'm ready.
His name is Ben. He's 6 foot tall, 225 pounds, pure. Oh. What's that? That sounds like an announcement.
was good.
What's that? Like is that what do they do that on when it's the,
The drum roll?
what is that? Is that when they're doing Jeopardy? Is it Jeopardy?
Oh no, that's definitely not that fast.
Wait, Jeopardy's the one where they're guessing. Yeah. I'm thinking of, what one is that? You know what I'm talking about? It's the wheel one.
Wheel of Fortune?
Yeah, with the Drew guy.
Oh no, that's
The Price is Right. Wait.
Come on down.
Yeah.
The next contestant
Don't they do
on.
that? No,
I don't think so.
they don't do it.
I don't think so.
Wow. Well, that's fine. We'll just roll. That'll be a good intro.
Here we go.
I'm
We can
feeling
keep
that.
it going
That's
with
a
that.
that's a Ben John intro for sure.
On the way.
Yeah. Well, I'm very excited. I got Ben Seabury with me from First Choice Chimney Sweep. They are based out of here in Dublin, Georgia. So I guess the best way to start, I know you have multiple certifications, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Let's go through those because I feel like when you first told me, I was like, dang.
yeah. So for me, the certifications were like a great starting point. I started the company and just started sweeping them here and there, for friends and family, that kind of thing. And I learned real quick that I didn't know what I was doing. Like, it's easy to dust somebody's house out. So not having the right equipment, not having the right education really showed me fast how bad and how quick you can mess something up. So, yeah, I took pride in that as I grew the company to just make sure that not just I'm certified, but everybody in the company is certified. When one of the office girls answers the phone, she's certified. She's a certified sweep. So, even starting with the phone call, they're taking care of you and they know what they're talking about.
Okay. And what's the certification exactly?
So the techs are certified through the CSIA, which is the Chimney Safety Institute of America. And then we also do CCP, which is a test that's formulated by the Chimney Guild, like the Chimney Sweeping Guild. So that one has more experience in the industry. CSIA is more of the modern, education format for it. So we're both of those. Then we're also CDET certified, which is like certified dryer vent exhaust technicians. So we clean dryer vents as well. And then we also have CCR, which is certified chimney realigner to put in stainless steel liners or do the repair work that's needed to make sure you have a suitable flue.
Any other ones?
No, those are pretty much the biggest ones. Yeah, there's those four right there.
Yeah.
We got CCP, CCR, CDET, and CSIA. So
Dude, I remember when you first told me that, we were just at a birthday party or something for one of our kids, and I was like, that's a lot of stuff.
yeah, it is.
There's a lot of words in those acronyms as well.
Yeah.
So how long, what would be like the gold standard one, would you say?
Definitely CSIA. They take the most pride. That is the certification that, they check up on it. They get reviews off of my website. They look at the jobs that I post and look into my work. And if I do something that contradicts the codes, from the NFPA or the IRC, then they can pull my cert for that. And they just reach out to me and say, hey, Ben, we noticed you did some stuff that's not in compliance with the way the Chimney Safety Institute of America does it. We're going to have to pull your cert. So that one has the most value and holds the most weight to me.
Wow. So that's like accountability, actually.
Yeah, yeah, they don't
It's
play
not
with
just like
that.
a designation and then like, all right, boy, you're on your way.
Yeah, it's not like you just pass the test and okay, we'll never see you again. They really check into it. So,
Dang.
yeah, that's good stuff.
I bet you're calling your people like, did you do it right?
Yeah, definitely.
Did you do it
Definitely.
right?
I try to keep up with all that, and it's like, hey, let's do it all the right way the first time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. So now is there like a set individual over you for that? Like, is there like a coach maybe, or is it just the entity itself that watches?
Well, the majority of my mentors in the industry are all CSIA certified. So all of my mentors that I look up to and talk to on a daily basis, they all have it. So they hold me accountable to it. Then I would say probably the director of education there at CSIA, Russ Dimmitt. He's probably the closest person I have in the system that holds me accountable.
Wow. And now I feel like you guys are, and of course this may be subjective, I don't know, but you guys are like the only chimney sweep I know of around our area in Middle Georgia.
Yeah, definitely. There's not many chimney sweeps out there.
No.
You know, everybody, like just about every customer we go to, they're like, "Man, I didn't know chimney sweeps were still a thing. I didn't know that was something that we needed." You know, but then when you're riding home, if you're just riding around, look at the houses. Just about every house has a chimney, and it's not necessarily just the sweeping aspect either. We cover everything to do with the chimney. So if it's leaking around your flashing, or you don't have a chimney cap and there's water coming inside your home, it can be as simple as having a damper door that's not closed is letting all your AC out of the house. You know, we're down here in the South. That AC is precious to us. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So you can save a little bit on your power bill, save a little bit of that AC just by closing a damper door that a lot of people don't even realize they have open.
Dang. Yeah, that AC is precious.
Yeah, right.
When you don't got AC down here and it's
man.
August, dang, it's actually what? It's like August 12th?
Yeah.
The dog days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely notice it. That AC unit, boy, if it goes down, you're ready to call somebody.
Well, so when did you start your company?
I started it in 2019. So I was on the fire department, and we had people calling all the time asking for chimney sweeps, as crazy as that sounds. And I was just like, man, somebody needs to do that. And I'd hang up the phone, look at the guys at the fire department, be like, man, another one for a chimney sweep, man. Somebody needs to start that up.
Like, so there was a fire because the chimney was all.
Well, sometimes, but most of the time it was just people calling because they'd call the fire department thinking that's something that we did at the fire department, which it's not.
Okay, so they were asking you to come clean it up?
Yeah, they just ask
I
us.
paid my taxes, pay y'all.
Yeah, like, hey, let's call the fire department, see if they do it. It's in line with fire prevention, so it makes sense.
Did you guys do it?
No, not with the
What
fire
would you be like? No, we don't provide that service.
Yeah,
here."
I was about to say, I think it was a blessing we didn't, because that's what helped me build the business.
For sure.
So I started doing it just on my days off from the fire department, and it took off.
Dang. Yeah, well, I had a crazy moment where in my life when I was probably 22, where I'm not going to say I almost died because that's mega dramatic. I didn't. But I mean,
It was on that line.
I mean, it was like I didn't experience near-death hallucinations, but I feared for my life.
Yeah.
Because our chimney at this place I was at was not cleaned or swept, I guess would be the best way to put it.
Yeah. Like a stove insert?
Yeah, it was just a fireplace, but it had a little metal cylinder going up and out of the building.
Okay.
And we use it a lot because instead of using the AC unit, we just used that during the winter.
Yeah, to heat the whole building.
Yeah, and it's a big wooden room. Well, it was a big wooden room. And dude, it was 80, 90 degrees in there, and all 20 of us were like, man, it's weirdly warm in here tonight. It was hot. The Mennonites were sweating. We were sweating.
Oh, boy.
And singing hymns and sweating. I'll pass
Just in
out.
here baking.
We were just it'll be fine. It'll go away. And we just honestly didn't think about it. And dude, the room later that night, I was in the back. So it was this multi-purpose building. And I was in the back with the door shut, and I was playing my guitar. I was just jamming, man. You know what I mean? This is my own world, just jamming. And I hear my buddy running and just, John, like screaming, and I thought he was just beating up my friends because man, we just wrestle. You know what I'm saying?
Goof around.
When you live with a bunch of men, that's what you kind of do.
Yeah.
It's not an unusual sound.
That's right.
It kept happening, and it got louder. And dude, I opened the door, and the wall of smoke was like.
Right. Oh man.
And dude, I was like gagging, and like we all tried to put out the fire. It lit about a quarter of the building on fire because the chimney was not clean.
Do you think it like got in between the walls or something and started, and that's where it was just sitting there smoldering and cooking?
Yeah, and it was like, it was crazy. It was chaos. Like, and we put it out and everything. Like, we called all the guys in the program, and we're like, grab every bucket, grab every hose. We gotta roll, boys. This building's on fire.
Yeah.
All because we didn't clean the chimney.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
So
I've gone to houses doing chimney inspections now and seen the underside of a mantle completely burnt. Like, it's just ready to go, man. Just those clearance to combustibles too, like just making sure you have enough space in between your mantle and where the opening of your fireplace is. I mean, there's codes for all of that stuff, and I'm like, holy cow. I mean, some of them, it can be down to a quarter an inch. Like, if it's lower than this, it could catch on fire. If it's 1/4 inch higher, you should be good. Like the codes allow for that, and it's like, holy cow.
Dude, that is, well, I tell you what, man, you guys do a good service, because I was, up until I had that crazy life experience, I didn't know that you did that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're younger, you just don't know things.
Yeah, you don't think about the routine maintenance stuff of it. It's like, well, let's just, light a fire and have some heat in here.
Yeah, sounds nice. Yeah. So, all right, now are you from Georgia?
No, actually, I was born in Chattanooga, Tennessee, so not far from Georgia. Not far, just across the line.
Did you grow up there?
For the first couple years, so not grow up. I grew up, I would say the prime time, like high school and everything in Vidalia. So
Vidalia,
Georgia.
Georgia.
Yeah, just outside of Dublin here.
Sweet onion capital of the world.
That's right, baby. Those sweet Vidalia onions, you can't beat them.
Yeah, I love Vidalia onions.
Yeah, you can tell a true Vidalia onion by how narrow it is. If you go to a cookout and you're trying to have like the onion slices for your burger, you're only going to get like 2 good onion slices out of that thing for a Vidalia onion.
Wow, dang. Right. So now you grew up in Vidalia mainly. Mm-hmm. So you spent like elementary, middle school, and high school in Vidalia?
Yeah, so my dad, he actually worked for a company working for a nursing home. So we moved up and down the East Coast quite a bit. So I've lived up as far as West Virginia, down in Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, kind of all over the East Coast, really.
Wow. How many times did you move?
Oh, I would say probably at least 10, maybe 11 times.
From
like until I was 16. 17. And
wow.
I moved out at right before I turned 18 and moved back to Vidalia. I just loved it there. That's where my friends were and everything. So moved back to Vidalia, and I've pretty much been here ever since. Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot of moving.
Yeah.
10 or 11 times.
Yeah. It was crazy. And it was always like to another state.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be like, okay, we're in Durham, North Carolina. All right, we're going to be moving to St. George, Georgia. All right, we're going to be moving to Weird, West Virginia, pretty big jumps. So.
Dang, man. Now, was it mainly, would you say, larger cities you guys were moving to? Or was it kind of like
about the size of Dublin? Yeah, about the size of Dublin. Kind of like smaller, medium size.
Oh, I got you.
Nothing crazy. Not like Orlando, Florida, or like Atlanta, Georgia. You know, in the smaller towns. Yeah, so I kind of got the small town vibe, I guess.
I got you. Yeah. Wow. Because I mean, I understand about moving to a degree, but I moved from Tampa, Florida, to Georgia.
Yeah, that's a big difference there, Tampa.
Yeah, and I say Georgia like it was the middle of nowhere, Georgia. It was like Jackson, Georgia.
Oh yeah.
In the country, and I was like, I'm terrified.
Like, all right, it's getting dark. I'm going to go ahead and go inside and lock all the doors now.
Yeah. That Jeepers Creepers thing is about to pop out.
That's right.
Because I'm sure that was a lot of transitioning for you, especially during like middle school years where you're just, developing and life is changing and so many different aspects, and you're moving a good bit.
Yeah, I always had like different sets of friends, like groups all over, like my best friend from this area, my best friend from that area, and so I don't know. I guess I just kind of adapted to it and was ready to roll.
Yeah.
I hardly ever meet a stranger, man. I'm ready to hang out with anybody all the time. So
Yeah.
I think it gave me a good positive spin on life, really, because it just, you know, getting out of my comfort zone is something that I thrive on, and I love it. So
Yes, I would agree. From knowing you, yeah, dude.
There's nothing that you're gonna be like, hey man, you know, like let's try this. It's kind of crazy, but let's try it. I'm gonna be like, all right, let's go. We just got back from a vacation in Alaska, and we heard somebody talking about a polar plunge, and I was like, oh, what's that? You know, and they were talking about, you just go out there in the Alaskan water. It's like 40 degrees or something like that. I was like, yeah, I want to do that. Let's go.
My
So.
God.
Did that and stayed in there for about 5 minutes.
Dang,
yeah.
5 minutes?
Yeah. That does not sound like a lot of time until you're in that icy cold water.
Dude, that sounds intense.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was so rejuvenating though.
Really?
Yeah,
Did you get out feeling like great?
Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah. I just like walking around Alaska. Like everybody was like in their, jackets and their little Eskimo looking stuff, like fuzzy, warm stuff. And I'm just walking around in my bathing suit and flip flops. just like,
Just
what's
being
up?
a man.
How's it going? How's it going?
From Georgia.
Yeah, it was super fun.
It's that light work.
Yeah. I was like, man, you got to. When you're here, you got to do something fun and exciting, you know?
Yeah. That takes me back to the first time I met you. You were like that, but probably more intense.
Yeah.
But I mean, it wasn't that long ago. It was what, 2017 maybe? I met you in Milledgeville, I believe, at a lake house.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think you tried to talk me into jumping off of something with you.
Yeah.
Or no, you just did it. It was an unknown body of water.
Yeah. Hey.
And I was like, oh, I don't know about this one. You're like, let's roll. You did. I'm pretty sure you did a front flip.
Oh, no flip. I think I just straight off. Yeah. I wish. I've never been one to do many flips, man. I tried one time and it just didn't. I don't know. It came down on my neck wrong. I'm like, yep, never again.
Scarred for life. Dang. Well, and that's one of the things when I first met you, I noticed you were very nice.
Yeah.
Like just a kind soul.
Hey, man.
Some people, you know how you meet, particularly men, sometimes you can meet them and it's this odd vibe of like, I'm tough.
Yeah.
I'm quiet. And I'm standoffish. Don't even look at me. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like,
or just give off that, like, I'm just a butthole kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like, for no reason.
we might need to hit the old, hold on, let's see if this is the right one. Oh, dang it. That's the wrong one. Oh, that's the wrong one. Hold on. All right, I'll find it later. There's a beep button for
Okay. I'm just
going through the different ones. But I tell you, you were just a nice person. And it's been consistent.
Hey, that's good. That's what I shoot for, consistency.
And I'm sure your team of people would agree, you know.
Man.
And that's the people that you have working with you at your company with leadership. I feel like to me, the most impactful leaders in my life are the people who aren't consistently living in such a prideful manner that you can kind of tell they're like, I'm better.
Yeah.
You know, like you're my peon employee,
right?
And you need to get my work done because I'm just better.
Yeah.
You have a humility and kindness about you that I'm sure sounds like from a lot of the transitioning you've had to do from just moving around a lot, you may have gotten a good grip of understanding people.
Yeah.
Or at least just blending with people well.
That's right. Yeah.
Because you have to. Or
see
your
that.
life's going to suck.
Yeah. You got to. You got to know how to like adapt to these situations. You know? I always love it whenever we roll up. Sometimes we roll up to, 3 people to a customer's house, which typically is just 2, a lead tech and an assistant tech. But in the odd case that there's 3 of us, typically you'll have like 2 lead techs and then an assistant tech or something like that. And whenever I'm on the scene with them or on the job site with them, it never fails. Like the customers come out and they're talking to the first person they see off the truck, hey, how's it going? And then like, maybe my assistant tech comes around like, hey, my name's so-and-so, and I'm going to be doing this, 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 and this. And they're like, I can see it turn in the customer's head like, oh, is that guy the top dog or is this guy the top dog? Or is that guy? And then usually like I'll come around from the other side and be like, hey, how's it going? I'm Ben. And they're like, okay, is that guy? Which one of these guys is the boss? And that's really something that I try to go for, is like creating a team where we're all so independently strong and we all know the information. We all are educated in the chimney world and everything, to where when we show up, you don't even know which one's like the lead tech and who's the assistant tech. I want all of my guys to just be well-rounded across the board. So it's like, man, everybody is a leader on this team, you know? I think it shows whenever we go together. Like, I can see it. I don't know if the other guy is paying much attention, but I can see it. I'm like, man, these customers, I can tell that they're looking like, who's the one that I talk to? Who's the one that knows more, you know?
Yeah.
So...
Wow. Well, and I'm sure too, even with this line of work, I don't want to. I just know that sometimes in more manual labor-oriented jobs, sometimes the workers and the individuals who are employed can be a little crazy.
Yeah.
I've been on a lot. I've worked a lot of construction. I've done a lot of different jobs, and yeah. If I hired a group of people that I didn't know but just saw their good Google reviews, I was like, all right, I'll give them a shot. And then they all came around to me like that. I'd be like, oh,
yeah,
this is amazing.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what we shoot for.
Yeah. As opposed to like someone getting out being like, what's up?
Yeah.
Where's the stupid chimney at?
Yeah. Or just imagine like somebody comes to like work on something at your house and you walk up to them, the first guy off the truck, and you're like, hey, Jim Bob, how's it going? You know, like, I'm just curious about this one thing. And the first thing out of that guy's mouth are, you got to talk to Greg. Like, I don't know. You got to talk to Greg. I'm just the do flunky, you know? It's like, no, man, go ahead and engage.
Yeah, for sure. Now, you got, how many people on your team?
There's about 7 of us now. Yeah, we're starting to get together to have our 3rd truck on the road. That's what we're pushing for now, is the 3rd van. So.
Oh yeah. So is it a van or a truck? You going van or truck? You know,
It depends on what day you ask me. I don't know which one we'll get. You know, whatever we can get a deal on and what we find available, I guess.
Yeah. So now it's 7 including you, or 7 and you?
Yeah, no, 7 including me. It'd be 6 not including me.
That's awesome, dude.
So we've got a couple guys like from high school that during the summertime they'll work with us and stuff. And I've got friends from all over the country. We had a guy from Boise, Idaho, that I was in CSIA class with. He was like, hey man, can I come work with you for a few months? And I was like, absolutely, come on. So we have a couple other people that just kind of come in, come out. I've got a buddy, Ethan. He lives in Johnson City. He comes down every now and then, works with us.
Huh.
Some fun stuff.
Ethan, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Huh. But that's cool, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I tell you, it's been cool to see you and your company grow, because I know there's so many different things tied up into starting a business, you know, outside of even just the practical side, where it's like, we got to make money, we have to be within budget, all that stuff. But there's also that feeling of, you know, wanting to succeed and provide for your family, because you are a dad of
2 little boys. Yeah. I love
boy
it.
dad. Nice,
it's
man.
super fun.
So you got, how old are they?
Eli just turned 3 and Charlie just turned 1. So 3 and 1.
How much did they play a role in you wanting to start this?
A lot. A whole lot. Because at the fire department, you know, we work 24-hour shifts. So you're gone for that whole day. You sleep at the station and everything. And then you come home, and then I was sweeping chimneys on my 2 days off. So I'd come straight home and get in the van and go sweep chimneys, you know. And it wasn't necessarily like I still work probably the same amount, but just being home every night and having that routine, like putting the boys to bed, you know, getting to read a good bedtime story, having that bath time, stuff like that, it's just fun, you know. I love it. And that means more to me than anything. So.
That's awesome, man. And now, so I kind of know a little bit more in depth, of course, about your fiance and you.
Yeah.
So you guys met what year?
Oh, that was probably 2013, 14, 15, somewhere.
Was it really?
there.
Oh, was it at K Jewelers?
Yeah, it was at K Jewelers. I can't remember the actual year. I'm
Hey,
gonna be on the hook for this one. Woo.
Well, but so now weren't you the assistant regional manager?
No, not by any means. I was barely a seasonal worker at K when we met. She was the manager, though. She was the store manager. Right. Yeah, and so her boss was actually the one that did my interview, and he hired me and everything. And you know, we didn't even look at each other that way for many years. And then finally we just hung out so much and it just clicked and we were like, man, maybe we should try to be together, you know?
Yeah, because I remember when in 2017 I met you, I was like,
Yeah.
this guy is just a friend of
Like,
Tori's?
they're not together? What?
They seem like they love each other.
That's right.
This is odd.
You know, it just took her a little time to come around
Yeah.
to see my love, you know?
Oh, yeah,
That's all it
yeah.
was.
Hey, man. Well, and that's really cool, dude. So you guys met 2013. Wow, I can't believe that. I thought it was...
It may have been, it was somewhere around.
I bet Tori will watch this and be like, what is he talking
She's going to be like, he doesn't even know what he's talking about. Let's see. It was probably, 15, 14, somewhere in there.
Oh, okay,
Something like that.
Nice, nice. So you guys have your 2 boys together, and
That's
you
right.
live in Dublin.
That's right.
And you started Chimney Sweep, or First Choice Chimney, in 2019.
That's right. Yeah.
Nice. And now your first son, Eli, was born what year?
2019. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So you started a business same year your baby was born?
Yeah, that's tough.
You caught up on your sleep yet?
No, not at all. Not even close, man.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Well, owning and running a business is easy, isn't it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just make money and stuff.
Yeah, just
Rich, easy peasy.
I
Don't
th-
got to work that hard.
I saw a meme that was talking about, it's like, yeah, I quit my 9-to-5 job so I could, you know, work for myself and everything. Now I work 24/7. Like, that never stops.
Yeah.
But that's good.
Well, how was it initially getting going? Like, I'm sure building the momentum. I don't know, because I guess we'll just ask the question instead of me try to find the answer in my own head. But how was it getting momentum at first for Chimney, for First Choice Chimney?
You know, honestly, when I look back at it and think about it, it's truly like the stars aligned because I was having those phone calls at the fire department. So that kind of triggered something in my mind like, okay, maybe somebody should do this. Well, then one day while I was on shift, I saw some chimney sweeping rods and brushes, like old school rods and brushes, like fiberglass ones that you go up on the top and you kind of scrub down. So I saw those on Facebook Marketplace for sale. And I was like, oh, man, look at this. What are the odds? I was just thinking about being a chimney sweep. Now I'm seeing some rods for sale and brushes. This is like bingo. So I text Tori. I'm like, hey, I think I want to buy these rods. And they were kind of expensive, man. They were $200. And I was like, whew.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to spend this $200 for me to buy some old used chimney rods and see what happens. But I had kind of led her and told her, like, look, I'll clean our chimney. I'll clean your mom's chimney. Like, I'll take care of these people's chimneys so that way we kind of get our money back. And if it doesn't turn into anything, I've got the equipment, like the tools to do it. Then Tori's family bought me a little Snow Joe, which is an ash vacuum cleaner. It's like a residential ash vacuum. So if you have a fireplace and you don't want to scoop the ashes out into a bucket, it's a residential ash vacuum. But it's like got these filters so that way it doesn't put doesn't put anything in the atmosphere. So they bought me that just as like a gift for Christmas or something. It was totally unrelated to the fact that I was like going after, you know, being a chimney sweep. And so I was like, oh, man, this is good. So I used that Snow Joe, and then I used the rods and had a couple customers, you know, that, you know, it was just friend of a friend would say like, oh, well, they got a chimney. They mentioned it too. And so I went and did those jobs. And, man, we were off to the races. Like, it blew up from that point.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Dang.
I would say, like, getting all the equipment, getting everything going, it just kind of happened. It was like I didn't really make a conscious decision of, like, I'm going to start a business and this is going to grow. I did know that I needed somebody else to go with me, so I called my dad and was like, hey, Dad, I'm thinking about starting up this chimney business. You know, will you ride with me so when I'm on the roof, if something happens, like my ladder falls down, you'll be there and I can be like, hey, come put my ladder back up, you know? And, of course, he was like, absolutely, I'm down for it. So
Shout out Dad.
that's right.
So you guys started in 2019. You got 7 employees, and your dad was the first one with you. You guys like partnered together.
That's right.
And I'm sure he's like, son, I'm retired.
Yeah.
I'm trying to not look.
He's like, I'm kicking back. They got chickens, so they take care of the chickens at the house. You know?
Nice. Okay. So now with the future of First Choice Chimney Sweep and everything you guys got going on, what are you envisioning for that?
Man, we've got all kinds of stuff going on. So there's a couple more certs in education that we're always pushing for. So we're in the works of getting those right now. There's all kinds of new tools and new things that are being implemented into the chimney industry, like infrared cameras, like to be able to scan and look for moisture and water leaks, stuff like that. We stay booked up like crazy with repair work, so we're always learning and growing and just getting every bit of education we can for repair work too. Yeah, really, we're just trucking along at it and keep doing what we've been doing, and just keep adding stuff to the mix. The dryer vents, I would say that was a big accomplishment for the company. There's a lot of sweeps in the industry that do that, dryer vents during the summertime kind of thing, and then chimneys in the winter. It's kind of seasonal a little bit. And so, yeah, dryer vents cause, I would say, more house fires than than chimneys by far, especially in South Georgia, You're not going to be burning your fireplace like you would if you lived in New Hampshire or something. So, but dryer vents get clogged up just as bad, and they need to be cleaned out as well too. It's just lint instead of creosote, so it's similar process, similar formula, everything. And so I would say I've seen more like, oh, this was going to be bad if we didn't handle something.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen more of those cases with dryer vents than I have with chimney stuff,
I think I saw a reel you guys did of you pulling some stuff out.
Oh yeah, man, that's the shot to get right there. Just all that lint just coming out of there.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I was like, is that my house?
No, no, that one wasn't yours.
Because you guys went and checked out ours because our dryer wasn't working good. And I'll be honest, man, I don't know how to say this. I hate crawling under a house.
Yeah.
Especially when it's full of spider webs and like unknown little creatures.
Yeah.
I hate that. And I will hire anyone to do it.
Really, that is not one thing that bothers me. Heights don't bother me. You can put me up 4 or 5 stories hanging on a chimney. I'm good.
Yeah.
But no, crawl spaces don't bother me either. Like,
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. I'll just tear right into there.
My God, yeah.
Just knock them webs down and go for it.
Yeah, that's like, my father-in-law's like that. But
Yeah.
I bet you guys helped us out a lot. I mean, I can't remember what it was, but you guys were able to come in there and give us a solution. So that's definitely a great service because honestly, it's a lot of stuff I feel like people just don't think about.
Yeah, it's just that routine maintenance. And like, I know from my point of view, like we just had to have the AC guys come out to our house, the AC went down.
Oh.
And, swapping the parts, that's something that, you can pretty much look up and you can do and everything. But then when I look at it and I say, okay, well, I can look up the parts on YouTube. I can figure out how to do this thing. All that time that I'm going to use to do that, though, I could be spending with my 2 boys, when I get home. I've already worked all day, you know what I mean? It's just better for me to go ahead and say, you know what, I'd rather have the professionals come in and check it out.
Yeah.
They can do their thing. They can let me know they can do it better, faster, and warranty it,
Not
And
pulling up
then
YouTube.
I'm not mad. I'm spending time with my boys, and
Yeah.
it's great.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
Gosh.
kind of the same thing applies with chimneys and dryer vents. A lot of times it's not necessarily the job is that tough as much as it is the time to do it and getting the right components and everything.
Yes, because when you're not or you're not knowledgeable in something, and you're like pulling up YouTube,
Yeah.
there's a lot of variables,
Oh yeah.
And of course when you're dealing with something like a chimney too, it's like, man, if I do this wrong,
Yeah. There
I
can be,
wonder.
like I said, just a couple inches here or there for a clearance, and you
Yeah.
might be catching your mantle on fire or something.
Yeah.
So
Gosh. Well, I noticed you mentioned some stuff about culture earlier and with your work and the company that you have. So with you guys and what you're wanting to accomplish, of course, with all the people you serve, and by culture, I mean like the employees that you have in the embodiment of like the core values that you believe in, like service, of course, working with excellence, being punctual, kind,
yeah.
those things. What would you say like your core values for your?
I can just hear it in the back of my head.
Oh,
One
yeah.
thing that the guys would be saying that
Uh-oh.
I'm always a stickler about. I'll get to that though.
Yeah.
So I would say for me, the customer service is huge. Like making sure that customer's happy. One thing that we do, I had a plumber come out to the house, and he told me, he was like, yeah, man, I'll be there sometime between 7 in the morning and 4 o'clock in the evening. Man, it's like, how do you plan your day with that? So
7 to 4.
yeah, like when we give you a time, we tell you like, hey, we're gonna be there at 8:30 is like our first appointment time. So we'll be like, hey, we're gonna be there at 8:30, and we have a 15-minute window. We hit that window. If not, you're hearing from us. We're either gonna call you, reach out to you. Hey, life happens. There's some stuff we can't avoid, but I would say 90% of the time we hit that 15-minute window, unless there's been a wreck or something that holds us up. So not wasting our customers' time, I feel like, is a big thing for the customer service. Secondly, I would say the fire prevention side of it. I did 7.5 years on the fire department, and I was a state certified fire inspector, public fire and life safety educator. Like, I had all these credentials that I just taught fire safety constantly. And I love it, and I'm passionate about it. And so when I'm in the home, if I see something that's like a fire hazard, that's a top priority to me. Like, hey, I want to make sure that your family's safe. I want to make sure that this one little thing, like you try to have a fire around Christmas time or something, we're going to make sure that doesn't turn into a disaster, Like, we're going to go ahead and nip that in the bud before there's any problems.
Yeah, for sure.
The guys would say shoe booties. Whenever we go in a customer's house, we wear shoe booties. That's what they would be saying about me. Yeah. So
core value number 1, shoe booties.
That's right. Yeah. I'm a stickler for it, man. Like, I don't want somebody walking through the grass and walking through mud and then coming in my home. So we have shoe booties, and I pride us on being very clean when we're in the home. So we drop cloths, and we have like the best top of the line vacuums now that, they catch everything. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, I would say being clean, the customer service, and then the fire safety, all of those go hand in hand. I'm not going to pick one over the other.
I say shoe booties.
Yeah, shoe booties.
So now those fire designations that you were talking about are the fire safety designations, not fire designations. What were those again?
So I was a state certified fire inspector. Yeah, I did that. I did the inspections for the fire department I was on, and I loved it. It was just kind of similar as to what we do with chimneys. Come in and just look for violations, anything that could be a potential hazard, that type of stuff. And then I was a public fire and life safety educator, and that really pertained more towards like kids, but it went across the whole board. So it was teaching fire safety to senior citizens in a nursing home, or teaching them to a group of 3-year-olds, and sometimes you make little dances and it's fun. And sometimes it was, really driving home like escape plans for the home and smoke alarms, all that good stuff. So
wow, dang. Yeah. So those designations on top of all the chimney sweep designations.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of fire safety studying.
That's the extra stuff. Yeah.
God. I hope if I'm ever in a fire safety emergency, you're around.
Hey, I'll be there for you.
I'm like, stop, drop, roll.
That's it. We got that one down pat.
That's amazing.
I would say that's part of what sets my company apart from anybody else in the area is just, the fire prevention side of it. The customer service and the knowledge on the chimneys that we have, that's all great, and we pride ourselves on that as well, but also the fire prevention stuff.
Wow. Dang, man. That's a lot of studying, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Years.
Years
but,
studying.
Hey, I'd do it all over again, though. Yeah. I love it.
You were a firefighter for 7 years?
7.5, yeah.
7.5?
Yeah, I volunteered for the first year and a few months before I got on full time with the department. I'll never forget going to that first call, driving my truck as a volunteer. I was like, I'm on the way. I'm going to save somebody's life, man.
Yeah.
And the assistant chief at the time, he told me, he was like, all right, I need you to grab an axe and grab the Halligan bar. I was like, okay. He said, hold it right here, the Halligan bar for the front door. And he takes the axe, and he was like, here you go. You hit the Halligan bar, we're going to bust open this door. I was like, okay. He said, if you hit my hands, you will never work here. I was like, all right. So I just tink, just barely tapping it. He was like, swing that thing, man.
Oh, wow.
So we hit it. We busted the door down. Flames come licking out of that thing. And oh, yeah, it was an adrenaline rush, and I was like, oh, I'm doing this. I am doing this from now
Talk about a first call.
Yeah, I was hooked. That's when I was like, oh, yeah, I've got to be a firefighter. This is too much fun for me.
Dang.
Yeah, it was super fun, though. I didn't get to go in on the fire, obviously. I was just kind of like
so it was a house
support
or something?
guy.
Like
yeah, it was a restaurant, actually. Yep. It was closed. It was like I don't know, 1 in the morning or something like that. So
you like the unpredictability /
yeah.
chaos
And I find that same thing with chimneys too. Like we go to chimneys and you never know what you're gonna find.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen ducks and all kinds of snakes and critters, all kinds of stuff.
in the chimneys when you're trying to clean them out.
Oh yeah.
God.
It can be a mess sometimes.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
But
Man, that is wild. So, how old were you when you hit that door with the chief?
ooh, I had to be 19-ish.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Young
18,
man.
19, something like that. Yeah. Ready to rock and roll.
7.5 years. I'm sure you experienced some things in that as well.
Yeah. There was a lot of good stuff to see. A lot of growing up. All my 20s pretty much I spent there just growing as a young man and everything. So, yeah, I learned a lot of good values. I mean, a lot of good stuff comes from the fire department. They pride themselves on being clean. Like the fire truck, you don't really see a dirty fire truck very often. Just the routine maintenance and cleaning stuff. And
Yeah. Well, now, and so you're in the military as well.
yeah, did the reserves.
Does all things manly.
Yeah,
Firefighting. So what military are you?
I was
branch?
in the Army Reserves. Yeah, I did that for right at 4 years. Yep.
Okay.
I actually got out because of the business. So I had a 6-year contract, and then at year 4, the business is taking off and it's booming. And we had our little 2-week drill coming up, and I was kind of like, oh man, how am I going to leave the business for 2 weeks, And I was talking to my commander about it, and he was super chill guy, and he was like, why don't you just put in for, to be let out early, and that way you can run your business and it doesn't hinder your family and what y'all are doing. And I was like, hey, that might be an okay idea.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Currently, I'm in the inactive reserves now. So instead of like completely being all the way out, I'm just inactive right now. So now I just don't have to respond or go in on my weekend drills and stuff. So that's nice. Yeah, don't have to run. Yeah, as you can tell.
Didn't they make you run like 2 miles or something?
Oh yeah, you've run a lot.
I got some funny Snapchats from you.
Oh yeah, just
That
be
one
out there
killed me.
sweating it out, man. You can't beat it.
It's tough to really get any form of exercise in, especially when you got 2 kids, a business.
Yeah.
You got other things pressing.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I could relax. Or I could go run and kill myself, basically.
Go sweat a little bit
Yeah.
more, man. Like after you've been on a roof all day working with chimneys, it's like I could go to the house in the AC, or I could go sweat some more. Like no
thanks. Yeah. Wow. So really, with your business and where you guys are at, you've been in it since 2019. Was it the very beginning of 2019?
We started it off kind of in the springtime, and then the summer months are really the slow months. So we didn't really have much of any, couple jobs here and there, just, a few people that maybe a critter got in there or they were seeing some leaks or something like that. But then that winter time, that busy season, it really went off. So it'd be more like the winter of 2019 is when we really put our feet down and we're doing it.
Wow.
And me and Dad did it for, I'd probably say a year, like a season and a half almost, like almost 2 seasons. And that's when I kind of woke up and was like, man, we need to be getting more people. We need to build a team. I need to look into how to run this thing like a business, and actually take control of it and like, let's grow and let's run this thing.
Wow. Now, did you get a mentor for that? Did you get some books?
Oh, yeah. The mentors, I've got, a lot of chimney mentors in the industry that,
nice.
I mean, if not for them, the company would have still been kind of stuck at a stalemate, but they just took me under their wing and said, hey, come work with us. We'll show you what we do. You can apply that back at home, and that was huge.
I bet it was.
Yeah.
Because that's uncharted territory for you.
It is. And I tell you what's crazy is I've been on the fire department. I've been in the military. I've been in a lot of jobs where the camaraderie and like being there with your brothers and that type of thing. The chimney industry is amazing. Like it's insane to me. I would have never thought that the chimney industry would have such a deep rooted like brotherhood too.
Really?
Like, yeah. I mean, to the point, like I've got friends all over the country that do this that are like, yeah, man, come on anytime. Come stay with us. Get anything you need. I mean, it's amazing. It really is. And there's really no competition side of it. It's not like, oh, you're my competition, so I'm going to be ugly to you or rude to you. One of the other companies here in Middle Georgia, I know him very well. We talk pretty regularly, and he's a great guy. He gives us referrals. We give him referrals. Like, it's amazing. I'm like, I love this. I don't have to be mean to anybody, and everybody works together. So
no one's turning you into the CSIA.
Yeah.
Is it CSIA?
Yep, CSIA.
And not like Ben was doing it wrong the other day.
Yeah, no. I was about to say we all work together and help each other out and stuff. So
that's great because in some environments, depending on the type of work, of course, and the people, but some environments can be very adversarial.
Yeah.
And it's like just cutthroat.
Yeah,
that's great.
I couldn't do that kind of job.
No.
Couldn't do it.
No, thanks.
I'd much rather be able to love everybody,
Everybody love everybody.
Yeah, that's right. We can all be friends.
Man, that's wild, dude. So now, with what you've learned professionally, I guess, what would you say some of the biggest takeaways in your life or maybe insights would be from this whole process? Something that maybe the top 3.
I would say probably that things are not nearly as bad as they seem they are. Like, if you just take a minute to breathe about it, it's going to be all right,
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So what would be an example of that?
I'll, just dealing with customers and dealing with the business. And, one of my good friends, he's actually a supplier of ours, like for our materials and stuff. I'll call him up and I'll be like, hey, man, I need, let's just say, a chimney cap, for instance. And he'll be like, oh, Ben, you're not going to believe this, man. We don't have that one in right now. I'm so sorry, dude. And he makes it like, I feel like, I get it. He's upset that they don't have the problem. But I'm like, hey, man, it's cool. Yeah. Like, okay. I'm not going to beat you up over it or anything. Same thing with the customers. If they call me with an issue, I'm like, we can take care of this for you. We're going to make it right. Like, we're going to take the urgency out of it. And I kind of get that from the fire department. If this isn't a life or death situation, we can handle everything else,
Oh, yeah, I bet. Like, as opposed to, like, cracking open doors with a big hammer and your boss at 19 is the chief guy saying, if you hit me, I'm going to never let you do this.
Yeah. It's just something that, like, chimneys can always be fixed. I love that aspect of it, too. So.
Wow. Dang. Yeah. Okay. So I wonder how we would... Basically, things aren't as big as they may seem.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's nice.
Sit back in the moment and just enjoy it,
Yeah.
Hey,
we're not dying, bro.
Yeah, it's chimney. We're going to make it right.
So what would you say number 2 is?
I would say number 2 is make those meaningful connections with the people. I would say that's probably the best thing I've learned from this. I get to meet all sorts of people, and I have met some of the most amazing people that I think I ever will meet through the chimney industry. And just being open to say, like, when you go to a customer's house, you knock on that door, you never know what they're going through. You never know what they've got going on or anything like that. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it because one of my favorite customers, I did a big time repair at their house. It was a man and lady. They were a little bit older in age, and they loved us. We had a great relationship. Sometimes we'd be at the house till, pushing 5 o'clock, 5:30, and they're like getting their dinner ready while we're trying to wrap up everything. And I just enjoyed being at their house, and they enjoyed having us at their house. And then literally when we got done with the repair job, okay, everything's good. We'll come back in a couple weeks and check up on things, make sure everything, like the mortar set, everything's good. Okay, no problem. Well, I had trouble getting in contact with them to set up that next appointment. And it turns out the husband had actually passed away. He was in shape, man, like good in shape. Just, he had a heart attack in the gym, like where he was working out. Yeah. And like, so I called, couldn't get a hold of nobody, couldn't figure out what was going on. And so we happened to be by her house one day, and I swung in there, and I was like, I'm just going to knock on the door. Like, this is out of character for them not to answer our calls or anything. Like, what's going on? Knocked on the door, she comes to the door, and I was just like, hey, how's it going? I've tried reaching out to you guys, couldn't get a hold. And she told me, like, the phone lines had been messed up since he had passed away. It was his phone that we were using to contact him. And she just like fell into my arms crying and told me that he had passed away. I started crying at the customer's house. And, that was like a little over a year ago, and I still talk to her all the time. Like I could call her right now after this podcast, and she would talk to me for an hour and a half. Like we go see her all the time. Anytime we're around that area, we take her lunch and stuff. And it's just like those genuine connections. That's something that I take away from this whole thing too. Just you know, open yourself to let people be people and just enjoy loving other people. You know.
Dang.
That kind of took a dark spin on the
No,
podcast.
no, dude, it was good. I'm over here. That's
Yeah.
That's an intense story.
Yeah.
But those connections are so important because they bring such value to.
They do.
And it's funny, they enrich your life so much that it transcends the value of money. I feel like
Does.
to where like money, you know, don't get me wrong, it's nice to have
Yeah.
when especially when you've had
exactly.
none.
Exactly. Like,
But those relationships and connection with people and it being like an authentic thing is so much more special and much more valuable. And I kind of get that sense from you as well.
yeah,
Like
it is. Like,
yeah.
the guys all pick on me all the time because I will go to a customer's house if if we spark it up and we have a connection, we have a good time, and I'll just leave and be like, oh man, did we even take payment for that job? Like, what happened?
Like that chimney sweep
yeah.
was awesome. I didn't have to pay.
Yeah, I'm like, I enjoy it though, man.
Yeah.
I'm truly passionate about it.
Yeah.
So, and meeting all
great.
the new people is great.
Wow. Yeah, I bet you do meet a lot of people. Because, I mean, I can't think of any other chimney companies around here.
Yeah,
Dang, that's
quite a bit. We average probably about, somewhere between 4 and 5 sweeps a day, and then
Wow.
we have the 2 trucks, so we're constantly hitting them and running them. Yeah,
4 or 5. That's probably some places have 2, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But that's probably 4 or 5 different houses, right?
yeah, 4 or 5 different houses. Yeah,
Dang, that's intense. Wow. Okay. So what's number 3?
The
I'm excited for
third
this one. Look,
one?
by the end,
Let's
I'm like,
see.
oh my
man.
God, it's so
I think
intense.
that was the good one, was the connection with people. Not to take stuff so seriously as the first one. The third one, I would say probably. I'm going to hinge it kind of off of what you just said about the money thing. Like, not to necessarily get so wrapped up in trying to chase that goal or chase that margin or chase that, whatever pinnacle of success that you're looking for. I think that would probably be the next thing that I've learned through this is, to really see what you value out of life and then do that, chase that thing, Like for me, it's spending time with my boys, and with my fiance. Like, that's what means the most to me. And the more that I'm doing this, like you make more money and that kind of thing. And then you're just like, man, but I want that time. I want that time to be with the family. So I think that'd probably be the third one.
Wow. Well, balance is tough.
Balance. There you go.
Balance is difficult. I feel you. I really struggle with balance. Someone just came in and gave me a knuckle tap and said bye to Ben. I thought he was about to make a guest appearance.
See you.
What time is it?
Let's go for another 2 hours, man. Ain't nothing but a thing.
Ain't nothing but a thing. All right. Well, that was a great way to end it.
Yeah, a lot of good information.
No, man. I feel like it's going to be awesome for people to see your heart
Yeah.
and to know you for the Ben, that people that know you like me, your fiance, Ethan, who's in the back there. But, there is something special about you, and I feel like that's why you've had some great success. And it's because you care for people.
Yeah.
And not just a money-hungry business owner, that's like, will do anything to advance his perceived idea of that pinnacle of success.
Right.
But you want to take care of your friends and your family, not only just monetarily, but relationally.
That's right.
And, that story with the husband who passed away, that was intense. I'm sorry for the wife. I hate that. But, man, that was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you got to share your heart and, express your company and where you guys are going.
Yeah.
This is going to be sweet to see what
exciting
happens.
Stuff, yeah.
You're seeing you all over the place.
Hey, man, and I really appreciate you taking the time out of the day
Yeah,
to
man.
do this with me. It means a lot to me,
Yeah.
Get to come hang out a little bit.
I know, right?
Get off of a chimney for a day.
Yeah. Both of our ladies are going to call us and be like, still doing that pod?
Yeah, yeah.
Quote
We'll
unquote.
be doing this for a lot longer. It's going to be a couple more hours. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's just young dad talk for everyone listening. It's what, it can be intense sometimes.
That's right.
But they're amazing. We love our children. That sounded like we were trying to skip them. Anyone who's a parent knows what we're saying.
Yeah,
you
that's
know what I
right.
mean?
That's right. They understand.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming on. It was great. Everyone go check out First Choice Chimney Sweep. They are awesome. We're going to link their social medias below, and you guys can check them out, see what they're doing, keep a pulse on all that they're doing and the info they're releasing, and get to see this handsome tan 24/7, literally all year long tan dude.
I love it.
Thanks, man. We good?
We're good.
Yeah.